Have you ever looked at your finances and just felt confused? I mean, the paycheck comes in, you're making pretty good money, but you still feel totally broke. It's this really weird paradox, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to get to the bottom of exactly why that money seems to just disappear. So let's start with what we know for sure. The money is coming in. You're putting in the hours, and that direct deposit, it hits your account like clockwork. And if you were to pull up a spreadsheet, yeah, on paper, everything probably looks fine. The numbers add up, you're doing what you're supposed to do to get by, maybe even get ahead. But that's not how it feels, is it? There's this gap, this disconnect between the numbers on the screen and that nagging feeling in your gut. Because, when the end of the month comes around, it feels like there's barely anything left. That is the million-dollar question we're here to solve. You're working, you're earning, but something just isn't adding up. So let's go on a little investigation. Where is all that money actually going? All right, our first big clue is something we can call the expectation gap. See, making money isn't just about dollars and cents. It creates this really powerful set of expectations for how your life should feel. We expect that bigger paycheck to buy us a feeling of stability, of comfort. We think earning more is going to mean feeling more in control. But the reality? Well, it's often this constant tension, this confusing scramble where there's not much left. And it's that huge gap between what you expect and what you actually feel that creates so much of this financial anxiety. And that right there, that gets to the absolute core of the problem. We spend our whole lives being taught how to earn money, but nobody really teaches us how to keep it. We just assume it'll stick around. But as we're about to see, the world we live in is pretty much designed to make sure it doesn't. Okay, now for the second piece of our puzzle, the slow, silent leaks. These are all those small, almost invisible expenses that act like a constant, quiet drain on your bank account. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All those streaming services, the daily coffee, the apps that just automatically renew. We all have them. And they are perfectly designed to be forgotten, to just kind of fade into the background of our financial lives. And that's their secret weapon, right? One $5 charge feels like nothing. A $10 subscription, barely a blip on the radar. But when you add them all up, month after month, you've accidentally created this major, constant river of money flowing right out of your account without you ever really making a conscious choice. And this whole thing gets supercharged by what people call lifestyle creep. Think about it. Things that used to be a luxury, something you do for a special occasion, have now just become our normal, everyday baseline. It's not like it's a personal failing, it's just this gradual shift in what we all consider normal, a baseline that's getting pushed higher and higher all the time. And oh boy, that is the real trap. Because once a convenience becomes your new normal, trying to go back feels like you're depriving yourself. Our brains actually register it as a loss, even if it was a luxury we lived perfectly fine without just a few years ago. Okay, so we've looked at our own psychology and our habits, but now we need to zoom out because this isn't just about us and our choices. It's about the very system we live in. It's about the design. The key idea here is something called payment friction. It's that little tiny moment of hesitation, that little sting you feel when you're about to spend money. And the entire modern financial world has spent billions of dollars to make that feeling completely disappear. Just think about what it was like to spend with cash. Every single step had friction. You had to physically open your wallet, count out the bills, feel the money actually leave your hand. The whole transaction was real. It was tangible. You felt the cost. Now look at how we do it today. A tap. It's effortless. It's instant. All those steps where you see it, count it, feel it leave, they're just gone. The whole thing has been reduced to a single, thoughtless little gesture. What this frictionless system does is create this really dangerous psychological delay. You get the immediate high of the purchase, but the financial pain, the consequence, gets pushed off until you check your bank statement days or maybe even weeks later. It totally disconnects the action from the result. So now, let's put all these pieces together. We've got the expectation gap, the invisible leaks, and this frictionless system we're all a part of. It's time to see the whole picture. Now, this might be the most important takeaway of all. Feeling broke is not a sign that you are failing. It's a totally natural response to the environment we're living in, an environment that is literally designed for financial outflow. And this just lays it out perfectly. Spending? Super easy, frictionless. Saving? That takes work, it's less automatic. Meanwhile, our expectations for a normal life are always getting higher.
and those invisible expenses are just humming along in the background 24/7. The entire system is tilted towards spending, not saving.
And wow, this quote just nails the frustration, doesn't it? You are playing by the rules of the game. You're earning, you're participating, but the game itself is set up in a way that makes winning, or just feeling like you're on stable ground, incredibly hard.
And it all just boils down to this. The experience of getting an income has been totally separated from the feeling of actually having wealth. The money flows through you, but it doesn't feel like it ever really stops long enough to become yours. It's just a current that's always moving.
So, we're not going to end this with a simple 5-step plan. Instead, we're ending with a question. Because honestly, the most powerful first step you can take is just to see this invisible architecture. Once you understand the systems that are shaping your financial life, you can start to make conscious choices inside of them. And that is where real change actually begins.